Dearest elders, teachers, fellow students, and Ma'alim Qazim uncle, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أدم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمسابنا بالحسين عليه السلام. May Allah make great our reward and your reward for our grief on Hussein alayhi salam. On behalf of the students and teachers of the Shia International Madressa Majlis, I would like to thank you all for attending today to partake in the Madressa of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Our annual Majlis is an opportunity for students and teachers to come together and contemplate on the lessons we have learned from the Ahlul Bayt, and in particularly by considering the great revolution of Karbala. It is a time for us to present our humble condolences to Lady Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. We would like to begin our Majlis with the great blessings of the recitation of the Holy Quran. The Tilawat will be by Hussein Jazzi and its translation by Malika Zamani. This will be followed by a short commentary by Zainab Mirzad and Hana Babraka. Please could you kindly invite them with a warm salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. سورة لقمان مكية. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم. هدى ورحمة للمحسنين الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم بالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون ومن الناس من يشتري لهو الحديث ليضل عن سبيل الله بغير علم ويتخذها هزوا أولئك لهم عذاب مهين وإذا تتلى عليه آياتنا ولى مستكبرا كأن لم يسمعها كأن في أذنيه وقرا فبشره بعذاب عليم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات النعيم خالدين فيها وعد الله حقا وهو العزيز الحكيم صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alif Lam Mim. These are the verses of the wise book. As a guidance and mercy for those who do good, those who are steadfast in their prayer and give zakah and have a firm faith in the hereafter. It is these who are on guidance given by their Lord, and it is just these who are successful. And of people is he who buys the distracting amusement of speech, to mislead others from the way of Allah, without knowledge, and who makes a mockery of it. For such people there will be a humiliating punishment. And when our verses are recited to him, he turns away arrogantly as if he had not heard them, as if there was a deafness in his ears. So give him the tidiness of a painful punishment. And surely for those who do believe and do righteous deeds, indeed for them are gardens of bliss, in which they will live forever. This is an absolute promise of Allah, and surely he is the mighty, the wise. Salawat.
The surah is named after Luqman the Wise. He is reported to be from Ethiopia and was a very perceptive man. Once he was resting under a tree and he fell asleep. An angel came to him and said Allah wanted to bestow him a gift, either wisdom or a kingdom. Luqman chose wisdom, and when he woke up, his heightened senses could understand the hidden meaning of things. Immediately he bowed down and thanked and praised Allah for his wonderful gift. It is debated whether Luqman alayhi salam was a prophet or simply a very wise, humble and faithful servant of Allah. What is very certain is that Luqman's advice to his son are lessons for every human being and are beautifully captured in the Quran. Salawat.
The journey to Sham was a long and difficult one. The worst of the atrocities that were faced by the Ahlul Bayt were in Sham. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam was the only adult male in the family of women and children, and when asked what was the most difficult time, he repeated, Sham, Sham, Sham. Our youngest children from Band A had been reflecting on the amazing sabr of the children in Karbala and Sham, and how they have been inspired by those personalities. Please could we welcome them with a very warm salawat.
The three Band A classes have spent the last few weeks thinking about how they can bring about change within themselves through using the stories of Bibi Sakina and baby Ali Asghar as their inspiration. We asked them all what they know about these two role models from Karbala, and as you can see in front of you on these flip charts, this is what they came up with. We wanted this presentation to reflect what they know about the story of Karbala, and as you can see from the flip chart, they came up with far more than what we were expecting, and many of their answers were so pleasing to hear, and I'm sure that other teachers can also agree on this. We then asked them what they can learn about these two role models and what they can change within themselves. We helped them out by giving them some sentence pieces to get them going, and as you will hear now, each of them will read out their sentences on changes they would like to make within themselves. We hope this presentation shows how bright these young children's minds are, and also make us as adults think about the little things we can change to be like the holy personalities of Karbala. So if you'd all like to join me by welcoming Alia onto the stage with a loud salawat.
I noticed that Bibi Sakina gave water to young children, so I will give water to poor people. I can see myself by helping my mum in cooking, just like Bibi Sakina helps someone.
I noticed Bibi Sakina helped her auntie with many things in life. Now I am going to help many people.
I notice I am very good at helping my mum. I can do the same as Bibi Sakina, who helped her mum to looking after baby Ali.
I will be good and be patient like Bibi Sakina, who was very thirsty and didn't want to complain about water.
I think I should share food with my family, my cousins and needy people like Bibi Sakina. I have decided to help and love my baby brother. Just like Bibi Sakina used to be kind and loving to her little brother. when I hear about baby Sakina's story.
I will bring change by respecting my mum and dad, just like Bibi Sakina who respects her aunt, Bibi Zainab and her uncle has respected us.
I love Bibi Sakina. I am going to listen to the teachers. I decided that I should be kind to everybody. I try my Bibi Sakina is always here to help me. I respect the mums and professors and my family and everybody else. The breakfast food is that I will share milk ideas. I know baby Sakina listened to her father, so I will also listen to my mom and dad. I respect baby Aliaska, baby Sakina, because they were kind, good people. They were all wonderful. I will be patient, respectful, generous, and kind like baby Sakina in the hot desert. I love the special daughter of Mom Hussein. I love baby Sakina and baby Aliaska. She helped other children in the camp of Imam Hussein. She gave water to the thirsty children. I decided that I shall help my mom like baby Sakina help babies give them food. I am Aliaska because you're smallest in Mom Hussein's camp. I will bring a chain by letting little one go first. I love baby Sakina as she helped others, I will help others too. I love baby Sakina because she was very helpful and respectful to her little brother Alias alayhi salam. I respect baby Sakina alayhi salam. She was very respectful and kind to her little brother Alias alayhi salam and all of the camp of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. I will respect my mum because baby Sakina listened to good people. I will help my friends because baby Sakina helped the children.
Our students and parents this evening looking at the sanctity of the month of Muharram
lessons we can learn from Karbala and about the dignity of Imam Hussein as his courageous companions in Karbala as they championed the revolution to save Islam from corruption and falsehood. The boys are going to recite a short martial, and the girls will present a PowerPoint presentation. Please welcome them with a warm salam.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Salam.
Faith and sacrifice, it gives hope to our cries, it gives light to the darkest night, it distinguishes the truth from light, it makes revolution arise, it makes revolution arise. Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Savior of the Deen of Islam, he is my third holy Imam. You are my Imam, your blood set breath we have near the upon
Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Every hour in literature millions flock towards your dome, leaving behind all that they own, as if they are returning home. In their blood just one name flows, Ya Hussein runs in the soul, Ya Hussein runs in the soul. Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
The chest of Ali Akbar, the neck of Ali Asghar, the cut arms of your brother, the ladies' tents were all burnt. Forever we'll cry and lament. We promise we'll never forget. We promise we'll never forget.
Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
We will never stop to mourn. 3 days of us far from home. Your injured body lay prone. It was shrouded by arrows. Those with for you, Hussein. Every breath and every step is for you, Ya Hussein. Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. The only prayer of mine as I am leaving this life, slowly as I shut my eyes and I breathe for the final time. You are the Mawla by my side. I will greet death with a smile. I will greet death with a smile. Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Aba Abdillah, Ya Shaheed Karbala, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Salawat.
Salawat. 5 interesting facts about Imam Hussein. He was the grandson of the Holy Prophet and son of Imam Ali alayhi salam. When Imam Hussein arrived at Karbala, he bought the land. Imam Hussein had bought the land of Karbala as he knew it would be his final resting place. The youngest Shaheed of Karbala was Hazrat Ali Asghar. He was only 6 months old and killed with a poison arrow used to kill wild horses. Interesting facts about Karbala. Imam Hussein was called to Kufa to provide guidance, not to start war. The people of Kufa told the Imam that they were being oppressed by the Khalifa of the time and needed his help. Muslim Ibn Aqil was the first Shaheed of Karbala. He was sent by Kufa with a response for the people of Kufa. He was killed by Yazid then. Imam was accompanied by 72 of his family members and followers only. Imam Zainul Abidin did not fight because he was ill and became prisoner with the rest of the women in Imam Hussein's family. Facts about Muharram. Since the Islamic calendar is the lunar year, Muharram moves from year to year. Muharram is the first month of the Islamic calendar. It is one of the 4 sacred months of the year which is fighting is not allowed. Imam Mahdi will reappear on the 10th of Muharram, day of Ashura. Salawat.
True lessons can only be learned if they are put into practice. Our students from Bally Girls would like to present a short role play on learning the lessons from Karbala and putting them lessons into practice in our daily lives. Please welcome them with a warm salawat.
These chips are really good. Have you guys tried them?
Yeah, it's so nice.
Anyway, what have you guys been up to?
Nothing, I've been busy with the 10 days of Madressa Majlis.
Yeah. Hello, you're awake still.
Sorry, I'm so tired from the last 10 days of the Jalas, and I've just been getting back late, and in the morning I've been struggling to wake up, and I've been missing my Fajr Salah.
You've been missing your Salah. One of the reasons Imam Hussein sacrificed himself was to show us the importance of time.
What do you mean?
During the Battle of Karbala, he wasn't thinking about his death, he was only thinking about his son.
You're so right. I'll make sure I won't miss my salah.
So anyway, how's school?
Oh, I had a math test. Well, I had an argument with this girl, but I didn't. She said sorry afterwards, but I didn't forgive her because she was being really rude.
Benin, what have you learned about this whole time?
What do you mean?
I mean, the story of Hazrat Tur. Tur was a person who led Muhammad and his beloved family into the terrible situation. No food and water. And in the end, he did apologize. And what did Imam Hussein do?
You forgave him. You're so right. I should have forgiven the girl over such a small thing, when Imam Hussein had forgiven her over something which led to his death.
Anyway, who's going to Majlis tonight?
How do you have the patience to go to Majlis every single day?
The importance of patience is so big. Don't you remember when the one family was so thirsty? They still had the patience to wait and it was so hot.
True. Anyway, where's your friend Zahra? I swear I haven't seen her in ages. She's at hospital because she's feeling ill, but I go see her every other day to help her out. How can you be bothered to see her every other day? Well, in Majlis it shows us the strong relationship between Hazrat Abbas salam and Imam Hussein salam, and that just inspires me to do that with my friends.
Oh my god, it's so hot in here. Can't I take my scarf off?
Fatima, you can't take the scarf off. Throughout the whole event of Karbala, Bibi Zainab had kept her scarf on, and it was scorching heat. And even in the palace of Yazid, she still said she saw nothing but beauty.
Alright, look at the time.
It was nice talking to you guys. There's always lessons you can learn from the event of Karbala.
Our band D-Boys have a poem and a writing they would like to share with you. Please invite them with a warm salawat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salawat. It was peak of the mischief and virtues in chains. Thus laws were sacked with rules insane. As the tyrants on the rise and mass confused, offered lust with lies and faith abused. Thus the signs indicated and time dictated, some souls elevated as Hussein navigated. A seed of the prophet and the sight of his parents, that time in the lodge, it was the art to apparent. In the name of God, for the sake of Islam, for the freedom of life and the soul of Islam, gave greater sacrifice, but not his hand, with the members of his kin and many of his friends, who were Muslims and defense to his heart so pure, they offered their lives as shield and cure. Thus tyrants came forth from the curtain railed, then peace was bought and lives were sold. And daring in the minds were the two young brothers, in the boldness of their moves were the teachings of a mother, shown Ummah and Muhammad with the values known as Hida. The children were slain, not the freedom of the mother. With a message from his father was Qasim bin Hassan, a radiant jewel of Islam, was his glowing young son. But Qasim into pieces for the bride day old. On the sand in heat it was savage and cold. When the pride of the Hashims rode back from the river,
and the tyrants made sure they did not deliver. They cut off his arms, but spirit was set. So an arrow hit the back, and the eyes got wet. Fell Abbas from the horse with their arms for support. And Hussein rushed to their aid for brothers and support. The children waited, but patience were taught, and the first in the camp was 3 days old. Soon Akbar came down with a spear in his chest, but his father had to put up. To serve was the test. the image of the Prophet and the life of Hussein, the vision of the mother and the eyes of Hussein. Now the leader was alone. He called for help. Then a baby fell down in response from the crib. This firstly pure infant was the son of Imam, who acknowledged his father and the call of Imam. Thus Hussein brought him to the field, watered, and showed the baby's dry lips and appealed. But 6 months old got an arrow so thick and that turned him over and tore his neck. Ali Asghar went to sleep with his father and no fear, with the cradle on fire and their head on a spear. With a mother's empty hand, with her tears dried eyes, who looked for the baby to sing lullabies. And sisters by the camp saw the whole of the trip as a knife tore the neck where the Prophet put his lips.
Earth and grief roared heavens and mourn. Sand turned red when Hussein alayhi salam was torn, and a child full of tears with a tiny bleeding ears, bruises on her face, her first so severe. She ran for her father who lay beheaded, and cried for the uncle for the help she needed. Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam looked for her in the sadness of that night, did inquire every soul in the land of the plight. While Sakina was sleeping on the chest of her body, with the love of the father from the fragrance of his body. Then the camp rushed down while the flames were up. Little children rushed out as their dresses lit up. It was a night full of cries and the innocent quest, shattered with the dreams and broken with the nest. All defences laid to rest of the trials and tests, left the face of an imam even history would detest, who fainted with the illness, faced torture and torment. A master of the pious and devotees ornament, lashes on his back, heavy chains on imam, but ladies with the prisoners was the wound of imam. No chatter for them but their rope-tied arms, and grief soared high from Kufa to Sham. But the daughter of Ali alayhi salam challenged miseries with the messages, with the families in bazaars and deadly courts of savages. With the depth of the patient and the zenith of the bravery, Islam was rescued forever from the slavery.
Dear elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Hazrat Abbas was the flag bearer of Imam Hussein's army. When he was born, Imam Hussein did azan and aqama in his ears because his father Imam Ali alayhi salam told him. In Karbala, when the children were thirsty, they come to ask Hazrat Abbas to go get them some water. So then the holy Imam told him to go get some water. When he went and got the water, Umar bin Saad told his army to stop him. So then the army attacked him. They first cut both of his arms. Then Harmala shot an arrow to make a hole in the bucket so the water would spill. When the Imam came to Abbas, the Imam said these words, "O Abbas, for my entire life you have called me brother. For my entire life you have called me master, now call me brother." After that, Abbas has sadly passed on. This shows the personality of Abbas. He was as brave as Imam Ali, and he was known as Qamar bin Hashim.
Glowing light when it
take me handsome BBR قد بيراح أبيها عباس يا عباس يا عباس يا عباس يا عباس يا أيها الساقي في الطرفي تموت عطشانا ولا عفي أطفال حسين في خوفي يا فارس الحجة والسيف أزري لتلك الصغار وشابي وسط القفار والماء يجري جهار عباس يا عباس يا عباس يا عباس يا عباس Oh, you're the meaning of courage and you protect us at every stage through his story on every page taught us how to live in every age even when you met your death the children you didn't forget your love is so infinite Abbas Ya Abbas Ya Abbas Ya Abbas Ya Abbas तुमको शान हाशिम गरानी की तुमको असलम हैदर की सानी तुमने दी हैदर वफादारी अक्सर जो दुआ सैयदा की थी रब ने की है ये अता तुमको बाब इंतजा तेरा है ये मर्तबा अब्बास या 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 अब्बास
اللهم صل على محمد
Our bandy boys would like to each share moments from the revolution of Karbala that they have found inspirational and eye-opening. Please could you kindly welcome them with a warm salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Respected Sheikh, elders, brothers and sisters, on behalf of Bandi boys, Assalamu alaikum. In the morning of Ashura, Hope commanded Hur had been raised to bring his horse and he went towards Imam Hussein's tent. A man called Mahajir bin Aus asked why he was shaking. Hur said, I know I can choose between the heaven and the hell, and I swear I want the heaven, even if they slay and burn me in fire because of it. When he got to the tent of Imam Hussein, he bowed and said, You son of the Prophet, I would like to sacrifice my life for you. I came here and troubled you, but I did not expect them to treat you so unfair and not listen to you. I swear I would have never done this if I knew that they would treat you this way. I want to repent you and ask God for forgiveness. Will he forgive me? Yes, God will forgive you, said Imam Hussein. Dismount your horse now. Let me stay on the horse and fight for you. I will dismount the horse at the end, said Hur. He then told the army of Yazid, You people of Yazid, you are unbelievable. You called upon this man of God and you said that you would sacrifice your lives for him. But now with swords in your hands you have besieged him. You do not even let him move in this vast land. He is a captive in your hands. You do not let him or his women and daughters drink from the water in the Euphrates, but you let the non-Muslims drink it. You have disrespected Prophet Muhammad. You will pray for this. Hur attacked him, saying, "I'm Hur. I'm the host of these people. I'll fight you in the support of the best guest we ever had in this land. I'm not afraid of you." He killed many warriors in Umar ibn Saad's army, and finally he was killed. Imam Hussein sat next to his body, wiped the blood from his face, and said, "You are free, just as your name means." Hur's story shows us that we can always go back and repent. Salawat.
Today, I have been given the chance by the Madressa to talk to you all on someone who's inspired me from Karbala. I have, for this occasion, selected Hazrat Ali Akbar. He himself is a role model to people my age, as Hazrat Ali Akbar was a teenager on Ashura Day. I'm inspired by him, as he was prepared to die at his young age in order to help protect Imam Hussein and the message of Islam. An anecdote from his short but valuable life teaches how to speak to and respect our parents. When it came to his turn to fight, he rode to the battlefield. While he was riding, he heard footsteps, so he stopped, got on his horse, and turned around. Ali Akbar noted his father's presence. Ali Akbar asked why he was being followed, and Imam Hussein said that he wanted to see his face for as long as he could. This shows Imam Hussein's love for Ali Akbar. I am extremely inspired by Ali Akbar, as even in that tense situation, he showed his respect for his father. Salawat.
Today I will be speaking about the most inspirational thing I have found from Karbala. This event is when Imam Hussein forgave her after what he did. Her was the same person that blocked the camp of Imam Hussein from water from the 7th of Muharram, 61 after Hijrah. After all of this, the Imam still forgave him. Imagine if the person who made your children thirsty came to you for forgiveness. Would you forgive him? I know I wouldn't, but the Imam did. This shows the forgiveness of the Imam. Salawat.
The overall events in Karbala have collectively inspired me to become a better human being. Nevertheless, there has been one occasion in Karbala that has shaped me into trying to become an overall better person, especially in my day-to-day life. Hazrat Abbas is my inspiration in Karbala, and one of his most recognizable traits is his loyalty, which I admire, especially when we see him in Karbala protecting Imam Hussein. Even when Hazrat Abbas was young, he would always follow Imam Hussein wherever he went, and would always support him. This loyalty can be seen when Hazrat Abbas goes to the river Euphrates to get water for Imam Hussein. Hazrat Abbas's loyalty is such that when he gets to the river, he doesn't drink a single drop of water, knowing that Imam Hussein and their children in the camp are thirsty. I draw inspiration from this, knowing that I can become as loyal as Hazrat Abbas, especially in the hardest of times. Salawat.
The event of Karbala is a university of learning. There are different teachers in this university, and then there is the principal. These teachers are every one of the shuhada and captives, and the principal is none other than Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. This university is for people of all ethnicities, all backgrounds, and all nationalities. The heroes of Karbala have become immortalized due to their goodness and sacrifice, and there are lessons and role models for everyone, whether they be male or female, young or old, sinners who repented, and those who were loyal from the beginning. But today I want to focus on an individual who inspires me. He was Qasim, the son of Imam Hassan, and the nephew of Imam Hussein. He sacrificed his life at an early age. Reports say he was around the age of 15. However, his sacrifice was not due to Imam Hussein being his uncle. His first duty was that Hussein was his Imam, and that was the clear intention in his mind. It was unquestioned loyalty to the divinely appointed Imam of the time. When questioned, "How do you view death, O Qasim?" he responded, "O my uncle, for me death is sweeter than honey." This shows Qasim's mentality when being shown his short future. It makes me question my own loyalty to my Imam, Imam Mahdi, Ajalullah Farur Sharif. As a teenager of Qasim's age, am I able to live my life according to the truth of his principles? Could I give up everything dear to me so readily and totally as Qasim did for my Imam? Am I able to be as true and courageous as he was? Salawat.
This year, during Ashura, I was told an inspirational story about Imam Hussein alayhi salam, where he highlighted the importance of salah and how it must be done on time. The Shaykh narrated that Imam Hussein alayhi salam, before he walked upon the battlefield, after days of hardship, stopped and started to do his prayers. Knowing that the enemy will take this opportunity to attack, he still did his salah, with two of his dear companions standing beside him, taking the storm of arrows that were pouring from the sky. But not once did he stop and delay his zuhr salah, neither did his two stop protecting their imam. Salawat.
For me, one of the most heartfelt events in Karbala is the martyrdom of Hazrat Ali Akbar. He became a martyr at the age of 18, and he still had a future ahead of him. He never got to live his life properly, and he never knew how it was to be a father. I feel like I can easily relate to him, as he was a teenager slowly growing into manhood, and that is the current stage of life I am in. At his age, he accomplished so much for Allah, and although I would like and envy, I wouldn't be as brave as him to fight to the death against grown men on the hot sands of Karbala. His death event itself shattered me. He died in the arms of his father, brutally massacred, and his father removed the spear from his organs, from his chest, in which his organs were too ripped out. This is extremely painful, and I could never imagine the pain he went through. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Now, I would like to talk about one of the moments I find most heartfelt from the entirety of Karbala. When there were very few people left on Imam Hussein's side, Hazrat Qasim felt it was his turn to go and fight. He went and took permission from his mother, Fadwa, asking to go to battle. He then went to Imam Hussein. He replied to Qasim's question, telling him he wouldn't be given permission, that he was his mother's only son, that he was the son of his brother, Imam Hassan, and that Imam Hussein could not let him die. Hazrat Qasim then went back to his mother and asked for help. She reminded him of the Daviz tied to his arm, and inside he found the letter. His mother sent him to go and give it to his uncle. When Imam read it, it is said tears came to his eyes when he recognized the handwriting of his brother. The letter read, Brother Hussein, a day will come when Islam will need to be saved by sacrifice. Hussein, I will not be alive on that day. However, my son, Qasim, will be there. It is my wish that Qasim should represent me on that day. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
My most heartfelt moment in the Battle of Karbala is when Hazrat Abbas hears the calls of Allah Dash from the children in the camp. He goes to his brother Imam Hussein and asks for his permission to go to the battlefield. Imam Hussein let him. He successfully got to the river Euphrates. He went into the river and cupped the water into his hands. But just as he was about to drink it, he remembered Imam Hussein and baby Sakina, who hadn't drunk for the past 3 days. Hazrat Abbas threw the water back into the river. How could he drink when the children were thirsty? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
One of the most heartfelt events from Karbala for me is the martyrdom of Hazrat Abbas, who was slaughtered trying to bring water to the camps of Imam Hussein. After the martyrdom of all the companions of Imam Hussein, Hazrat Abbas, the flag bearer and commander of the Imam's army, asked if he could go and fight on the plains of Karbala. Imam Hussein refused and instead told him to get water from the river for the children, who were all crying Al-Atash. As Hazrat Abbas set out on his horse, the army of Yazid fled. They were afraid of the courage and ferocity of Hazrat Abbas. Having reached the river, Hazrat Abbas took the water in his hands but didn't drink, as he could not bear the thoughts that all the children and Imam Hussein were thirsty. This conveys the fearlessness and loyalty of Hazrat Abbas, even in the most difficult of times. On his way back, he was struck from behind, and one of his arms was amputated. Then he was struck from behind again. The attack amputated his other arm. Abbas continued, carrying the water in his mouth. Yazid soldiers started shooting arrows at him. One arrow hit the bag, and water poured out of it. Immediately after the bag of water was hit, the enemy shot an arrow at Abbas that hit his eye. One of Yazid's men hit his head with a mace. Without the support of his arms and with no eyes to see with, he fell to the ground and called for the Imam to come to his aid. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
The narrations mention that when Abu Abdullah had completed his farewell to the women and his son Ali, he cried out, Hal min nasiri yansurna? Is there anybody to help me? When the lack of support was confirmed by the silence of the enemy, Hussein set off to complete the reformation of the Ummah of his grandfather, by any means possible, even his own death and the death of his family and friends. Some narrations say that Imam killed over 1,500 of the enemy by his own hand, and wounded many more. Umar ibn Sa'ad, the cursed commander of Yazid's army, after seeing Hussein fight, cried out to his army, "Woe be upon you! He is the son of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the most renowned swordsman of the Arabs. Attack him from every direction." At this point, 4,000 bowmen of the army of the Cursed One turned their bows to Imam al-Hussein and made him their target. It is narrated from Imam Muhammad al-Baqir that Imam had over 3,000 wounds on the front of his body alone, because he never turned his back once upon the enemy. Narrations tell us that when his holy body was laying on the ground, he resembled a hedgehog. The only difference is that a hedgehog has spikes above his body, whereas Abu Abdullah has spikes within his body. His body was unmercifully trampled upon by the horses of the enemies. His body was mercilessly looted for its treasures. Even the old clothes that he'd worn underneath to protect his modesty had been taken from him. It is said that a man could not take off the ring of Hussein, and was in such a haste to get the treasure that he removed the finger from the blessed hand of Abu Abdullah with his sword. Our beloved 12th Imam cries out in Ziyarat Nahiyah, "Peace be upon the unclothed corpses in the desert, bitten by wild wolves, and around whom the beasts of prey prowled. Peace be upon the one whose aorta was severed. Peace be upon the grey hair that was dyed with blood. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Today, I'll be talking about the massacre that happened in Karbala, where the entire nation had failed to stand up to Yazid and had succumbed to his will, leading to the aggression towards the pre-Islamic era. Today, I'll be talking about my personal opinion on what was the biggest tragedy that fell upon the 72 before valiantly to protect the true message of Islam. Imam Hussein alayhi salam was the leader of the 72 who revolted against Yazid. He is said that I never revolted in vain as a rebel or as a tyrant, but I rose seeking reformation for the nation of my grandfather, Prophet Muhammad. I intended to enjoin good and forbid evil, to act according to my traditions of my grandfather and my father, Ali ibn Abi Talib. This is why we commemorate his death on the 10th of Muharram every year, to remind us about the sacrifices of the family of the Prophet. It also makes us aware of the people then and now who try to destroy Islam and the family of the Prophet. Al-Fatiha.
Students from Band F have thoughtful musings about the powerful and heart-wrenching speeches of Lady Zainab alayhi salam and Imam Sajjad alayhi salam that they would like to present to you. Could you welcome them with a very warm salawat?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. We have gathered here today in remembrance of the sacrifices of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and his holy family. Today, I would like to particularly reflect on the contribution of our holy Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. He was spared during the battle in Karbala due to his illness. This was Allah's way of protecting the Imamate, and it is through him and Bibi Zainab that the message of the tragedy of Karbala was kept alive and propagated. After the atrocities and suffering that the Imam went through, from Kufa to Sham, imprisoned in the dungeons of Yazid's palace, he was able to enlighten humanity through beautiful sermons and du'as, and give an insight of his supreme knowledge and his depth of understanding. In honor of all the mothers of Karbala who gave such great sacrifices, I'm going to read an extract from Imam Sajjad's famous treatise of rights on the rights of the mothers. It is as follows. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Coming to the rights of relatives, it is rights of your mother that you should appreciate that she carried you as nobody carries anybody. and fed you the fruits of her heart, which nobody feeds anybody, and protected you with her ears, eyes, hands, lungs, legs, hair, limbs, with her whole being, gladly, cheerfully, and carefully, suffering patiently all the worries, pains, difficulties, and sorrows, till the hand of God removed you from her and brought you into this world. Then she was most happy feeding you, forgetting her own hunger, clothing you, even if she herself had no clothes, giving you milk and water, not caring for her own thirst, keeping you in the shade, even if she had to suffer from the heat of the sun, giving you every comfort with her own hardships, lulling you to sleep while keeping herself awake. It was she, not you, who was braving the heat and cold of this world for your own safety. Therefore, you must remain thankful to her accordingly, and you cannot do so except by the help and assistance from Allah. This powerful, heartwarming speech is an example of the etiquette we need to show our mother, and shows us the extent of a mother's love and how we should respect our mothers. That they should first come over anyone and everyone, as they are the ones that are by your side for eternity. This is emphasized more as Imam Zain al-Abidin's mother passed away when he was just a small child. Equally powerful is how Imam draws nearer to Allah's mercy by making us realize that we can only show our gratitude to our mother with the support and assistance of Allah. May Allah give us all tawfiq to respect and honor our mothers, and elevate the status of all those mothers in Karbala at the most difficult sacrifices for Imam Hussein for the sake of Allah.
In Kufa, Bibi Zainab gave a speech telling people about what happened in Allah. On the day of Ashura, she told the people that Allah was unhappy with them, and then that was very brave and patient, so patient, be patient too. Salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله.
To my dear parents, teachers, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. We are in the period of mourning the death of our third Imam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and the hardships his family had to face after his martyrdom. There are countless lessons that we can learn from that day, from respecting our parents to remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times. However, personally, I feel that the most important lesson I have learned from the event of Karbala is that of patience. The patience of the martyrs in the lead-up to their imminent deaths. The patience of the mothers as they watch their children fight for justice on the battlefield. The patience of the children as they begged for water but were refused the help. Everyone on the side of the Imam al-Islam displayed patience in one way or another, and continued to do so throughout Sham al-Khalifa. However, the patience of Bibi Zainab Salaam alayha was incomparable. Bibi Zainab was a mother, sister, aunt and companion who watched her loved ones die on the right path and supported Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam in protecting the children afterwards. Like the fourth Imam alayhi salam, she witnessed every martyrdom and still suffered the hardships that come with being a captive of war, including pain and humiliation. However, the strength of her iman is what we should be mirroring in our lives today. As we have just heard, Bibi Zainab Salaam alayha gave a sermon in Kufa, in which she made the residents of Kufa aware of what actually happened on the 10th of Muharram, as many people were unaware of the events due to the news blackout. At a time when standing up to the Caliph resulted in severe punishments, she stood in the court of Yazid and delivered her famous sermon, including how the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would destroy the wrongdoers. It is this sermon that encouraged the Kufians to rebel against Yazid,
and demand the freedom of the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam. Bibi Zainab Salman Alayhi's speech radiated bravery and patience, as even whilst recalling the events of the day of Ashura, she did not lose her composure. She is also known to have said in the famous hadith that she saw nothing but beauty during her experience. This is an important lesson for us to learn. As Imam Ali alayhi salam once wrote in Nahjul Balagha, a moment of patience in a moment of anger can save 1,000 moments of regret. Patience is what helped Bibi Zainab Salman alayha look after the children when they were struggling on their journey, and it is her patience in a time of difficulty that helped her win the hearts of the rebels. Her patience is what gave Islam a positive image, as had she gotten angry, which she had every right to, the Kufians would argue that this is not behaviour to be displayed by descendants of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Out of all the lessons taught to us by the event of Karbala, patience is something that we can start implementing straight away in all aspects of our lives, whether that is at home, work, or at school. I hope that this short summary on the power of patience has helped us all appreciate Bibi Zainab Salman alayha's actions more and remember Karbala again. Salam.
And now for the moment we have all been awaiting. We are honoured to have Dr. Kazim Dala from Dar es Salaam join us today to deliver our Madressa lecture. It is difficult to know where to start when you try to encapsulate the achievements of Dr. Dala. He is an eminent eye surgeon who specialises in retinal eye surgery. Dr. Kazim has published several research papers in international medical journals. At present, he is the medical director of Dr. Agarwal's Eye Hospital in Tanzania and is also working on a major international research project involving UCL and St. Andrews University. He has co-authored a textbook on basic anatomy and physiology of the eye. He has authored a book on tawassul called The Divine Link in light of Quran and Hadith. His tabligh work extends to working with other members of Ilm Africa and providing an online platform for spreading the message of a beloved Ahlul Bayt to Swahili speakers throughout Africa. Please could you welcome Ma'alim Kazim Dala with the warmest and loudest of your salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. My dear children, my elders, sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sincere gratitude for this invitation. Thank you very much. I'm really highly impressed with this great program. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the tawfiqat of the students and the teachers and the parents and accept the efforts that you're putting in to raise the new generation of the soldiers of Imam alayhi salam. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. This is Surah Al-Imran, Surah number 3, verse number 31. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, say, He's telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to tell us if you love Allah, in kuntum tuhibbun Allah fattabi'uni, then follow me, the Prophet. Allah will love you and forgive your faults because Allah is forgiving and merciful. So by following the Prophet ﷺ, three things happen. One is it shows and confirms our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Two, Allah will love us. And three, our sins will be forgiven. Now if you look at this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it very clearly, if you love Allah, then follow me. It doesn't say, if you fear Allah, then follow me. If you are afraid of Allah's punishment, then follow me. If you are afraid of Jahannam, then follow me. No. It says, if you love Allah, then follow me. Allah will love you. This verse is very important in our environment now, especially when we are going through the issues and the phase of Islamophobia. When people are calling us terrorists, they are calling Islam a religion of terror. This verse is very clear that Islam actually is the religion of love, it's the religion of peace, it's the religion of compassion and kindness and mercy. And the Prophet ﷺ is a prophet of mercy, is a prophet of kindness, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. I have not sent you except as a mercy to the mankind. Why today Islam is called Islam, a religion of terror? Why is there today Islamophobia? There's a different issue that we all need to go and think about. But by this verse we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is presenting love to us. Just one small story of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and how much merciful, how much loving, how much compassionate he was, that is enough to give us an example as we move forward. The Prophet ﷺ was sitting with his companions after namaz, as in his tradition, talking to them, answering their questions. One Bedouin walks in, Masjid al-Nabawi, and he comes there, does salam to the Imam, to the Prophet ﷺ, and offers him a fruit as a gift. The Prophet takes the fruit, keeps it by his side, and continues to discuss with the Bedouin. The Bedouin said, oh, I want you to eat this fruit. So the Prophet cuts a piece and eats the fruit and keeps the rest. He said, no, I want you to eat another piece. So he cuts another piece and takes another one. And the third one, till he finishes the fruit. Bedouin is happy. He finishes the discussion and goes away. The companions of the Prophet ﷺ are surprised. Today we see something different than we usually see. Usually, when the Prophet ﷺ would get a gift, he would share it with the others, with his companions. He would give a small part, most of it he would give up. Today, the Prophet did not share even a small piece. They were wondering maybe this fruit was really very sweet, and the Prophet enjoyed eating and he wanted to eat the whole of it. But they knew the Prophet wasn't like that. So they asked him, what happened to them? Why didn't you give us a gift? Why didn't you give us a portion of this fruit? Anyone can guess the answer? Because the Prophet ﷺ said this fruit was so bitter. If I had shared it with you, if I had given this fruit to you, you would have made faces. You would have thrown it out. That would have been an insult to this man who has brought this fruit to me. That's why I took this fruit for myself. I ate it also to stop humiliation. I cannot bear to see one of my followers humiliated, one of the human beings humiliated. This was the love of the Prophet ﷺ. This was the akhlaq of the Prophet ﷺ. If we only project this akhlaq to the non-Muslims, that is enough to project Islam as the loving religion. So this is the introduction. Now in this verse there are two subtle points, which of course not the subject of discussion today. Just as two subtle points, we'll mention it, and you can go think about it at home as a homework. Number one is, you cannot show the love to Allah. You will not be able to show love to Allah, nor will Allah love you without going through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is what we call it as wasila, as tawassul. There's a lot of attack at the moment on wasila and tawassul. Be careful about it. This verse is very clear. In kuntum tuhibbun Allah fattabi'uni. If you want to love Allah, follow me. There is a path towards reaching Allah. There is a path of the love. To attain the love of Allah is through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you cannot reach Allah on your own. You have to go through the doors of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anyone who says tawassul is shirk is wrong. Tawassul is not shirk. There's a whole chapter, a whole discussion about it that you can go and read about it yourself. The second subtle point is the issue of religious pluralism. Another favorite subject of discussion in the social media, the different forums, the different platforms. It's a huge discussion. Again, it's not the subject of our discussion today, but another issue that is discussed, that is hidden, a subtle point in this verse is the issue of religious pluralism. The current fashion is saying that all religions reach, all the paths go to the same point. Wrong. May reach somewhere, one common point, but if you want to go to Allah, follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This verse is clear. We will stop here. We will not go further than that, given the sensitivities of this issue. So please do your own research. So now the question comes in: why should we follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Why nobody else? Because in Surah Ahzab, Surah number 33, verse number 21, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Because in the apostle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is certainly for you a good example. He is the best model that you can have. Because we human beings want to see, we want to hear. So if you want to see, you want to hear about how to go towards Allah, then you see Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and follow him. But this good example is for whom? لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ, for the one who looks forward or has hopes in Allah. وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرِ, and the last day. وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا, and the one who remembers Allah greatly. So, if we love Allah, we follow the Prophet. Why? Because he is a good example. Question: how should I follow this Prophet now? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Hashr, Surah number 59, verse number 7, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. Whatever the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives, take it. Whatever he gives you, take it. وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Whatever he refuses you, leave it. This is how you should follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whatever he gives you, take it. Whatever he commands to do, do it. If he says go to war, go to war. If he says no war, peace, do peace. وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. This is how we should follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The question comes now is, but what if the Prophet makes a mistake? Again, I'm not speaking this out of context. There is a debate going on also in other forums about Prophet making mistake. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whom we always consider as a ma'soom. So there is a discussion going on out there. The Prophet made a mistake, Prophet makes a mistake, and he was forgiven for his sin. Na'udhu min that. So this question is there, we need to answer it. But what if the Prophet makes a mistake, Ya Allah? You are telling me to take whatever he's given me. You are telling me to stop not taking anything that he has refused me. What if he makes a mistake? I'll make a mistake too. Allah assures us in verse 33, sorry, Surah number 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, verse number 33. What is this ayah? Louder?
إنما الله يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت
إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Don't worry, this prophet will never make a mistake because he has been cleansed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of all the negative qualities. There is no question about this man making a mistake, not only him but the Ahlul Bayt as well. So you have a person who is perfect, human being, perfect creation ever created, he has been given to us as a model to follow so that we can reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So another question now comes. How much authority does this man have on me? How much? Can he control my entire life? Certain section of my life? Certain actions of my life? What can he control? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers that question as well. In Surah Ahzab, again, Surah Ahzab is a very interesting, very important surah which I wanted to recite on the day of Ashura. There is a reason why we are reciting this surah on the day of Ashura. Surah Ahzab, surah number 33, verse number 6, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "An-nabiyyu awla bil mu'minina min anfusihim." This is the authority of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My children, my brothers, my sisters, this is very serious. What does it say? "An-nabiyyu awla bil mu'minina min anfusihim." The Prophet has a greater authority over the faithful than they have over their own souls, over their own selves. This is what the Prophet ﷺ asked on the day of Ghadir, "Alastu awlan lakum?" Don't I have authority over yourselves more than you have on yourself? They said, "Qalu bala." Then he said, "Man kuntu mawlahu, fahada alayhi mawla." The authority that I have on you is the same authority that Ali will have on you after me. Don't be fooled by the discussion that it talks about friendship and it talks about, I don't know, whatever else. It is authority that Allah mentions in the Quran. An-nabiyyu awla bil mu'minina min anfusihim. He has got more authority over us than our own selves. This is the problem. So the question now comes is, how far does this authority go? Or do I have my own choice? This is my life. This is a very common sort of an argument in our areas. This is my life. I'll do whatever I want with it. What do you have to do with it? Just keep it to yourself. Mind your own business. Give me space. Alright? These are the terminologies that we use. So Allah answered that question as well in Surah Ahzab. Again, the same surah, verse number 36. He says, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. This has closed the discussion, it has closed the chapter. What does it mean? And it behoves not for a believing man and a believing woman that they should have any choice in their matter when Allah and His Messenger have decided the matter. Once Allah and His Messenger they have decided and a matter, they have given you their decision, I have no choice over that. So they have a complete control of my life and all the decisions they make, I have no right to object or raise up the issue. This verse is extremely powerful. Please remember these verses. It answers a lot of our questions today. It is a yardstick to measure our faith. So if Allah, for example, and please take it positively what I'm going to say. If Allah has decreed or ordered or decided that there should be one man witness and two women witnesses, that is His decision in the Quran. If He has decided that there should be two parts of inheritance to man and one to a woman, this is His decision in the Quran. If if he has decided that he will fast from sunrise to sunset, decision in the Quran. If the decree and the decision is that there will be no same-gender relationship, then that's it. It's decided. If I'm a believer, if you're a believer, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with this or not, whether it makes sense to me or not, I have no choice but to submit to this decision of Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is what it means. Question: isn't it unfair, Ya Allah? You have given me free will. You have created me. I didn't ask you to create me. You have created me. Anybody here asks Allah, I want to go to earth? Anybody? No. I didn't ask to come here. You created me. And you didn't make me an angel, you made me a human being. I didn't want to be a human being. You made me a human being. And what does it mean? You gave me free will. You gave me choice. You gave me freedom of decision. Now you're telling me I have no choice. I have to follow you. Isn't that unfair? Yes? So the answer is, anyone wants to volunteer? We start a discussion now. The answer is, if you are a believer, you have no choice. You want to have a choice? Somewhere else you can go, no problem. There's a choice there. But if you want to be a mu'min, you want to be a believer, you have no choice. This is what it is. A little bit better example, explanation than that. Okay. So, in Surah Tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Surah number 9, this surah doesn't have Bismillah. Allah says in verse number 111. Why you have no choice, you know? Because إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُم. Keep this in mind. Forget all the other verses that I have recited. Remember this verse. What? Allah has bought from the faithful their souls and their property. Allah has done business with us. We were discussing with Nasim in the morning today about business, how Khojas we like to do business. Allah is doing business. I don't know, I'm sure Allah is not a Khoja, but Allah does business with us. He says what? إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُم. Allah has bought from the believers their souls and their possessions. What does it mean? It means now He has taken our souls and our property. It is His now. Okay, you have bought my soul and my properties. In return for what? What are you giving me? بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. In return for Jannah. I will skip the other verse because you'll go and read it yourself. But Allah in the following subsequent verse says, وَعْدَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَقًّا. A promise binding upon him that he has bought your soul, he will give you Jannah instead. وَعْدًا عَلَيْهِ حَقًّا فِي التَّوْرَاةِ وَالْإِنْجِيلِ وَالْقُرْآنِ. This is a promise binding upon him in the Tawrat and Injil and Quran. A small request is 5 minutes before my time, please read me. I can go on for 2 hours. So this is a promise. وَمَنْ أَوْفَى بِأَحْدِهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ. And who is truer to his promise than Allah? So Allah has bought our nafs, He has bought our property in return for Jannah, and Allah says, don't worry, I am giving you the promise. Who is better to keep His promise than Allah? Okay. So then He says, فَاسْتَبْشِرُوا بِبَيْعِكُمْ. So rejoice in the bargain. You have no choice. Why? Because I have taken your soul now. Rejoice in this bargain you have made with Him, and that is the great success. Therefore, if I am a believer, I have no choice of my own because I am not I anymore. I have been bought by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does it mean? I now belong to Him. I have no choice in my own actions. I exist but I does not exist. Remember this. I exist, but I does not exist. It is him now. That is the biggest difference between a believer and a non-believer. A believer is I. A non-believer is I. Whatever I want to do, whatever pleases me, I will do. I don't care. A believer is whatever pleases Allah, I will do. Whatever He says, I will do, because I exist, but I don't exist. Does not exist. Okay? This is the level of submission of a mu'min. There are a lot of noises going out there. When you come out of this hall, there's a lot of noise going out. And I call it noise because it doesn't make sense. You know, it causes chaos and confusion in the minds, especially the youths. We as parents have to be very careful to filter the noise for our children. Otherwise we lose them. And the highest manifestation of this submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wa salam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Takwir, Surah number 81, verse 29, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. You do not wish anything except that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes. Whatever the wish was for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Question is, can I remain where I want? I don't want to go to that stage whereby I have to give up everything for Allah. Yes, you can. There is a verse for that, but we will not go to that. But I don't want to go behind. We want to go forward now. This is the stage whereby now a mu'min doesn't have his own choice. He has left everything. And why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bought his nafs and his property. بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. He has given him Jannah. Now, there is a stage higher than that. A stage higher than this. And what is the stage? In the first stage, Allah comes and says, sell me your soul. Give me your property. You submit. Give it mean doesn't mean you take everything you have and give it to the mosque. No, it doesn't mean that. It means you use it. You use your life, your money, for His pleasure. The second stage now comes is that He doesn't come to buy your life and property. You sell yourself to Him. There's a difference. One is that He comes to buy from you. The second stage is now you sell yourself to Him. And in return, what do you want from Him? You don't want Jannah. You want Him. There's a difference. Now you don't want Jannah. You want Himself. That's the stage now. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives an example of such people in the Quran. He says in Surah Baqarah, verse number 207, He says, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. And among the people is he who sells his soul seeking the pleasure of Allah. So now this person sells his soul, alright, and seeks the pleasure of Allah. So I don't want Jannah now, Ya Allah, I want you. That is a higher stage. Alright, and the best example we have of this verse actually was revealed after this action of Imam Ali alayhi salam, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, sleep on my bed, I'm going for hijrah. Imam Ali was only worried about one thing. If I sleep on your bed, will I be spared? No. Imam Ali wasn't worried about his life. So he asked the Prophet, if I sleep on this bed, will my family be spared? No. He wasn't worried about his family. One worry Imam Ali had. If I sleep on this bed, will your life be spared? That was the worry of Imam Ali. The Prophet said, yes, if you sleep on my bed, I'll be saved. Imam Ali said, Khuda Hafiz, go, I'll sleep on your bed. After that action, this verse was revealed that Imam Ali sold his nafs in return for the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala. Question. That was Imam Ali, you know. He was Imam al-Muttaqeen, he was Amir al-Mu'mineen, he was a Ma'soom, he could reach that level. I can reach that level, can I also do that and reach that level of rida of Allah to be able to get the pleasure of Allah, mardatillah? Answer is yes. Verse number 72, Surah Tawbah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. Allah has promised the faithful men and women gardens with streams running in them to remain in them forever. That's when you want Jannah for Allah. From Allah, He'll give it to you. This is the Jannah. وَمَسَاكِنَ طَيِّبَةٌ فِي جَنَّاتِ عَدْنٍ, and beautiful places to live in the gardens in Jannah is yours. But there is a higher stage than that. In Jannah itself there is a stage in that. وَرِضْوَانٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ, and yet Allah's pleasure is greater than this. This is what we can reach if we come forward and say, Allah, take my soul. We have an example in the Quran of a person who had reached that level, Asya alayhi salam, the wife of Fir'aun, when she was breathing her last after going through a lot of torture. The last words in her mouth, the dua that she had was what? Rabbi ibni indaka baytiyan fil Jannah. Oh Allah, I want to go to Jannah. Make for me a house in Jannah, but where? Near you. Rabbi ibni indaka. First, near you, a house in Jannah. That is the stage where Asya wanted. And we have got examples in history. The time is up. We cannot go into examples of how Malik Ashtar, the love that they had imbibed of Ahlul Bayt, how much that love was there, that they were ready to sacrifice everything for the love of Allah through Ahlul Bayt. So we have like Malik Ashtar, Sa'ad bin Sawhan, Hujr bin Adi al-Kindi. These are great names that my children should know about and get inspiration from these historical figures. And inshallah, if we get the barakah of coming back for Raja'at, for Imam alayhi salam when he comes, we will see them, we will meet them here on earth, inshallah. We should yearn for that Raja'at. When the Imam comes, we should also come together so that the Malik Ashtar that we heard, the Malik Ashtar that we saw in the place, we will now be able to shake hands with him. Malik Ashtar was one person who Imam Ali alayhi salam said, the way I was with the Prophet, the way I was to the Prophet, Malik was to me. That was how Malik Ashtar was to Imam Ali alayhi salam. There's a lot about Malik Ashtar, please go and read about it. But the best example of this, when you reach now the level whereby you sell your soul to Allah in return for the rida of Allah, the best example is Karbala. You look at Karbala, the companions of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam did not want Jannah. Surprise. Were not, okay, they wanted, I'm not saying, let me rephrase. They were not after Jannah. They were after Hussein alayhi salam. That's the difference. How do you prove that? On the night of Ashura, Imam alayhi salam calls all of them. He said, gentlemen, these people are after my life, not you. Thank you very much. We've come all the way to here. We took all the trouble. Remember, water was cut down for the 7th, so they were all thirsty on the night of Ashura. You have taken all this trouble. None of my predecessors had companions like you. Your loyalty is phenomenal. I withdraw my bay'at, and I guarantee you Jannah. Go away from me. Leave me alone. These guys only want to kill me. He said, okay, if you're feeling shy that if I'll see you, you'll be embarrassed, I'm putting off the lamp. You go in the darkness. I guarantee you Jannah. If these companions were after Jannah, they would have gone, because now what? They have got what they wanted. When Imam put on the light, everybody was there. They said, oh, we want you, Hussein. No. What will I go and in Jannah without you? I want you, Hussein. By getting you, I'll get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was the companions of Karbala. They did not leave Hussein. And they made sure. I always wonder, whenever we hear the Waqi of Karbala, Let's hear it objectively. Let's think a little. I always ask myself, it would be very easy if the enemies had shot one arrow on Imam Hussein in the morning, the battle would have finished. But they couldn't touch him as long as the companions were there. They did not touch Imam Hussein. 40,000 or 30,000 or 20,000 enemies. 72 people. The enemies could not reach Hussein because they did not touch him when they were there. This is how these companions of Hussein were. Surrounding him, nobody should touch, nobody should cause harm to this Mawla. To such an extent, when Muslim fell down, Imam Hussein rushed, and Habib was there. Muslim was one of the oldest, perhaps the oldest companion of Imam Hussein. His back was bent, like that much old he was. Habib reached there with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And Muslim, Habib is asking Muslim, I know I will join you very shortly, very soon I'll come, but tell me your last wish. He had only one wish. He was pointing his finger towards Abu Abdullah. Him. That is my wish. Don't leave me. Protect him to your last breath. This was the love this companion had for Hussein alayhi salam. Now what level did they attain? What did they attain? Look in Ziyarat Warif. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, Assalamu alaikum ya ansar dinillahi wa they were the helpers of the deen of Allah, the helpers of Rasulullah, the helpers of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the helpers of Fatima al-Zahra, the helper of Hassan al-Mujtaba, the helper of Abu Abdullah. And what does he say there? This is Imam Sadiq alayhi salam saying. This is a ma'asum saying, Bi abi antum wa ummi. May my father and mother be sacrificed for you. These people, these 72 shuhada of Karbala, they were not ma'asum. There was one who was a Christian. Wahab was a Christian, newly married. Zuhair bin Qayn was not a Shia of Ali. He was an Uthmani who converted to become a Shia of Ali. Imam Sadiq's father is a ma'asum. What does he say? Bi abi antum wa ummi. May my father and mother be sacrificed for you. That was the status they had reached in Karbala. Mu'minin, my children, a time came in Karbala when Hussein was alone. All his companions had gone. They were all martyred. Now he was alone. Single person remained with a 6-month-old soldier. That's it. I always wonder on the day of Ashura, whenever I do this Amal, I ask myself, Imam Hussein did so many things on the day of Ashura. He hugged Ali Akbar. He kissed Abbas. He carried Sakina. We don't do any of these actions. This action we do 7 times. Abu Abdullah walks 7 times with his baby in the hand. The baby who was slaughtered, the way it is written in Maqtal, min al-udhuni ila al-udhuni, from ear to ear. He holds Ali Asghar and walks. There are many explanations we can give to this, but the one that I think that breaks our heart is when he took Asghar from his mother. He was alive. He had white cloth around him. Now he's returning this baby to the mother who is slaughtered with a red cloth. How will he give this baby back to the mother? This was the most difficult moment of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam in Karbala. It's difficult to explain that. And that's why we are told you should do this. Remember Abu Abdullah or this particular action. And it is at this moment that Abu Abdullah remembered his shears. He said, I wish my shears were there in Karbala to see how I beg for water for my child. This was Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Let's ask Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, which was the most difficult point of your journey. He will say, Asham, Asham, Asham. We normal mu'mineen, when we see our ladies' scarves a little bit up, when I see my children or our wives, our mothers' hair a little bit showing, we get upset. These are the children of Ali and Fatima. These are the children of the Prophet ﷺ who are going in the Darbar of Sham without hijab. You can imagine how much difficult this point was for Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, that he cried for 40 years because of this. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. بِذَنْبِ قَضَائِهِ وَتَسْلِيمَ الْأَمْرِ. Ya Allah, بحق this congregation that has come to show the love for Hussein alayhi salam. We have one dua to make, and that dua is, Ya Allah, we miss Hussein. We had no opportunity to meet Hussein, and that opportunity is gone. But there is one opportunity that is going to come still. Ya Allah, we don't want to miss that opportunity. We want to be with our Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman when he comes. We want to be in his army. We want to be amongst his companions so that we can help him. We can come to his rescue. We can protect him. And take that revenge of Karbala when Imam alayhi salam comes. Ya Allah, please give us that opportunity. Even if you are dead, raise us up from our grave so that we can join you. Allahumma ja'alna min jundik. Ya Allah, make us amongst your soldiers. فَإِنَّ جُنْدَكَ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. Because your soldiers are victorious. Allahumma ja'alna min hizbik. Ya Allah, make us amongst your party. فَإِنَّ حِزْبَكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Because your party is always successful. Allahumma ja'alna min awliya'ik. Ya Allah, make us amongst your friends. فَإِنَّ أَوْلِيَاءَكَ لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Because your friends, for them there is no fear, nor is there any grief. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Surah Al-Mubarakah.
Our band e-girls have been studying the incredible speeches of Imam Sajjad and Lady Zainab. The Ahlul Bayt have given us a catalogue of heroic lessons. The scene in the court of Yazid ibn Muawiyah was particularly powerful. Please welcome our students as they recount this heart-wrenching scene for all of us. Salawat.
Assalamu alaikum, elders, brothers and sisters. When Imam Hussein's ravished group arrived on the court of Yazid, they were made to walk through the streets of Sham, which are decorated as if it was a celebration awaiting them. Narrations say that this group was made to stand for so long that their feet became bruised and injured. Their necks had to be wrapped with chains, and they were scarred from being made to walk so far. At that time in Yazid's court, over 700 people were present from countries all over the world. The family of the Ahlul Bayt hung their heads down in shame, crying as they had been made to stand there without their hijab in front of all these people. Yazid was proud under the false impression that he had won. His palace was decorated with such grandeur to make it known that Hussein had been defeated by his hands. However, this was false, as it is always the truth that prospers and wins. Yazid thought that he had won, but in reality, it is always the truth that prospers and wins. He was sitting on his high throne when the head of Imam Hussein came to him. He began playing with his stick, and continuously he poked the teeth of Imam Hussein. By this point, Bibi Zainab could not hold it back any longer. She stood up against Yazid and gave a speech to the court, like the way her father Imam Ali would.
Attention, attention, all rise. Yazid ibn Muawiyah is about to make his entrance.
You have paid the price for your rebellion, O Hussein. I do not think of Abdullah would reach the age that his hair and head would be coloured by black henna.
Are you playing with Hussein's head? By Allah, your stick has hit the mouth which I used to see the messenger of Allah kiss. While you, O Yazid, will have Ibn Ziyad as an intercessor on the day of judgment, these people will have the intercession of the messenger of Allah.
Take him away.
May misery befall you, O Yazid.
If only my grandparents and Badr could witness how Khazraj went into panic, they would have been very happy, after which they would have said, "May you, O Yazid, never be paralyzed. We've killed the leaders of their masters and equaled it to Badr. Surely Hashim has played with the kingdom. Surely Hashim has played with the kingdom, while there were no messages from the heavens, nor were there any revelations, and you asked that Hussein should not be killed. Ha ha ha!"
असीर काफिला दरबार शाम जब आया यजीद ज़ैनब कुबरा से यूं हुआ गोया लो आज राज व तो इज़्ज़ो मंतशा का खुला के बावकार हुआ कौन कौन है रुसवा ओ बद कलाम ठहर बोली ज़ैनब कुबरा नशे में मस्त है आयत ये पूरी सबको सुना वो हाथ खैर का है कौन मुझको ये तो बता कि जिससे जिल्लत और तौकीर बांटता है खुदा वो हाथ तू है कि हम अहले बैत हैं उसके हम ही है इज्जत और जिल्लत के बांटने वाले यदि कल खैर भी हम.
And what should be asked from the grandson of she who ate from the liver of Hamza? How can you ask those who ate from the liver of the pure? How? How can you ask those whose flesh grew from the blood of the martyrs? And how can they not hate us, the people of the house, when they look at us with such hostility and hate? And then you say, without feeling guilt or remorse, they would have been very happy, after which they say, may you, O Yazid, never be paralyzed, while you hit the lips of Aba Abdullah, the leader of the youth in paradise, and hit them with your stick? How dare you against Allah? How detestable are you?
The sorrow of Karbala against the sorrow of Badr.
Yes, by Allah, for you have made our wounds deeper and totally exterminated us by killing the progeny of Muhammad and the stars
of the earth from the family of Abdul Muttalib. I certainly do not support your tribute to your ignorant forefathers. By Allah, O Yazid, you will soon meet them, and you would wish that you were paralyzed and dumb, and not said what ye have said, and done that which you did.
Silence! May Allah slit up the skin as you slit up the skin of your brother!
You will not slit up anybody but your own skin. You will not cut anybody but your own flesh. You will stand before the Messenger of Allah, bearing the burden of shedding the blood of his progeny and the dishonouring of his family. Here Allah will gather them all, and the oppressed will get their revenge, and He will give them their rights. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Think not of those who are slain in Allah's way as dead. Nay, they are living. With their Lord they have provision.
Is it sufficient for us that sword is the judge between us and you, because peace has become extinct between us?
It is sufficient for us that Allah is the judge. Muhammad is your opponent, and Jibreel is our protector. They, who made it easy for you and gave you leadership of the Muslims, will soon see who is worst off and has the weakest army.
Oh, you who cause that which is praised of all cause, surely death is easy for the crying women. Could you not imagine what the Roman emperor would have done if a woman had spoken to him in the manner which is done to me by this woman? Would he not have commanded her crucifixion?
This calamity has forced me to talk to you, for I see you insignificant in my eyes, and I find your attack rate and your criticism devastating. But the eyes are filled with tears and the heart is filled with depression. And how strange that the honoured party of Allah gets killed by the deserted party of Shaitan. If you consider our defeat as your great achievement, then you shall soon pay its price. Here you won't see nothing but what your hands have accomplished, and your Lord is not oppressive to his servants.
By Allah, I shall let you follow your brother.
My master, if you kill her, then the situation will be turned against you, and the people will rebel against you, and the situation will be what does not please you.
May she be condemned. I swear by Allah, I shall plot in a way that no leader has ever done against his citizens.
We are not your citizens, so do plot, put forward your plans and increase your efforts, O Yazid. For by Allah, you will not erase our remembrance, nor will you wipe out our revelation, and nor will the shame of your deeds be deleted. For by Allah, all your plans will fail, your days are limited in number, and your wealth will cease. On the day when the caller will call, Allah la'natullahi ala zalimin. Surely the curse of Allah is on the unjust.
Silence! May Allah let her tongue be kept silent. Keep her silent.
O my aunt, by Allah, you will explain that which a scholar will find difficult to explain.
Give me that girl, O my master, so she may be given the worst of punishments, so she may be guided to obey you, O my master.
You are a corrupted liar. Neither you nor your prince can do that.
I can do that. If I had wished, I could have given you to him.
No, by Allah, you are not able to do that, only if you leave our religion and take on another religion instead. And I believe you have already done that. Why don't you make it public to the people?
Indeed, your father and your brother have left the religion.
It is by Allah, my grandfather and father's religion, that you and your father have been guided, if you are a Muslim. Enemy of Allah, by Allah, you are nothing but a vicious tyrant. You curse, oppress, and subdue with your power. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ لِأَنفُسِهِمْ أَنَّمَا نُمْلِي لَهُمْ إِثْمًا لِيَزْدَادُوا إِثْمًا وَلَّهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. Let not those who disbelieve that our giving them a long life is for their own good. Nay, we grant them a long life so that they may increase in their sins, and they shall have a disgraceful chastisement. Allah, the High, the Mighty, has spoken the truth.
Oh, Ali, it's indeed your father. O Ali, it's indeed your father that has broken the relations of my family, was ignorant of my status, and fought my power. So Allah has done to him what you have witnessed.
बयान करता हूँ दरबारे शाम का मंजर जहाँ थे 700 कुर्सी नशीन फितना घर यजीद झूम रहा था शराब पी पी कर और ऐसी बज़्म में अफसोस आले पैगंबर था उनके सामने एक बदकलाम मिंबर पर बयान करता था झूठे यजीद के जौहर जब उसने खत्म की तकरीर बदकलामी पर खतीब जहल से बोले ये आबिद मुस्तर कि तूने खुश किया मखलूक को जरूर मगर खरीदा कहरे खुदा तूने मुख्तसर सर पर अरे जहां हो जिक्र बदतवार वो मिंबर कब है लकड़ियों का है वो अंबार वो मिंबर कब है कहा यजीद से कुछ मैं कहूँ इजाजत दे यजीद चुप था तो दरबारी सारे कहने लगे यजीद दे इजाजत इसे भी कहने दे ये क्या कहेगा लरसता है जो नकाहत से संभाले तो रसन शान किरदगार आई इमाम आए के मिंबर पे जुल्फ़िकार आई या हुसैन
ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبراها إن ذلك على الله يسير لكي لا تأسوا الله ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما أتاكم والله لا يحب كل مختال فخور. No calamity befalls the earth or yourselves, which is in a book before we bring it into existence. This is easy to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you may not grieve for what has escaped you, nor be exultant at what He has given you, and Allah does not love any arrogant boaster.
وما أجيبة من مصيبة وبما كسبت أيديكم. And whatever affliction befalls you, it is on account of what you and your own hands have wrought.
This is about those who oppress others, not about those who get oppressed. We were granted 6 things and favoured with 7. We were granted knowledge and clemency, leniency and eloquence, courage and love for us in the hearts of the believers. We were favoured by the fact that from among us came the chosen prophet, and from us is the lion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the prophet, and from us is the very truthful one. And from us is his nation's 2 children, and its Mahdi. O people, whoever recognizes me, knows me, and whoever does not recognize, let me tell him who I am and to what family I belong. I am the son of Mecca and Mina. I am the son of Zamzam and Al-Safa. I am the son of the one who carried the black stone in the ends of the mantle. I am the son of the best man who ever put on a loincloth and clothes. I am the son of the best man who ever put on sandals and walked barefooted. I am the son of the one who was made to travel from the sacred mosque in Mecca to the remote mosque in Jerusalem. I am the son of the one who ever made tawaf in sight. I am the son of the one who pronounced talbiyah and offered the hajj. I am the son of the one who was made to travel on the buraq in the air. I am the son of the one to whom angels sent blessings upon. I am the son of the one whom Jibreel took to the end of the horizons. I am the son of the one to whom the Almighty revealed what He revealed. I am the son of Muhammad al-Mustafa and the son of Ali al-Murtada. He was generous and benevolent, noble, well pleased with Allah, brave, the one who put an end to the bad relatives. He separated the parties, the most resolute and the most honored, the firmest of them in determination, the boldest in speech. He was a brave lion, the one who put an end to the bad relatives and struck fear in them at the battles. The lion of Hijaz and the ram of Iraq, from Mecca, from Medina, from Badr, from Uhud, from Shajr the emigrant. The master of the Arabs and the lion of the snakes. The inheritor of the sanctuaries, the father of 2 sons, Hassan and Hussein. This is my grandfather, Ali, son of Abu Talib. I am the son of Fatima to Zahra. I am the son of the mistress of all women. I am the son of the pure chaste one. I am the son of the Prophet's own heart. I am the son of the one covered by blood. I am the son of the owner of this head, the sacrifice of Karbala. Inside the palace, when Imam Zain al-Abidin gave his speech, there was much chaos and commotion. So Yazid ordered for the adhan to be recited so that the Imam could remain silent. The adhan started with Allahu Akbar and the Imam became calm. Then the Muezzin said, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And the Imam said, Oh Yazid, you say you have won, but tell me, in your own palace, whose father has been called in the adhan? You or mine? Who is victorious? You or mine? And Yazid became humiliated in front of his guests, and he had been outed to the public. So he ordered for the Imam's head to be killed. Bibi Zainab, who was left with responsibility by her own brother for the safeguard of the Imam, stood in front and defended the Imam and said, You have to kill me first, and ordered for the person to kill her first. Amongst the ladies' group was Fizza, an Ethiopian princess who had given up her life of luxury to serve the Imam. She had travelled from Medina to Karbala with Imam Hussein, and from Karbala to Kufa to Sham with Bibi Zainab and Kulthum. Many of the guards realized she was Ethiopian and recognized she was Kulthum, so they refused to kill her, as they warned Yazid that there would be bloodshed in the palace. So Yazid moved the whole group into the prison.
Surely the curse of Allah is on the unjust.
यजीद की तो कब्र का कहीं भी कोई निशान नहीं, यजीद की तो कब्र का कहीं भी कोई निशान नहीं। आजा बजा है दबर में हुसैन की औलाद है, हुसैन जिंदाबाद, हुसैन जिंदाबाद, हुसैन जिंदाबाद। कुरान में हदीस में यजीद का बयान नहीं, यजीद की तो कब्र का कहीं भी कोई निशान नहीं, यजीद की तो कब्र का कहीं भी कोई निशान नहीं। आजा बजा
صلى على محمد وعلى محمد.
We are almost at the end of our Majlis. May Allah bless you all for your presence on this Farshi Azhar. Ameen. We shall now have Nohas from Band B, E, D and Band F students. This will be followed by Ziyarat and a Dua of allegiance for the safety of our beloved 12th Imam. Please welcome them by joining me in calling out Labbaik Ya Hussein, Labbaik Ya Hussein.
لبيك يا حسين، لبيك يا حسين، لبيك يا حسين. يا حسين Ya Hüseyin.
You are the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad Mustafa, the son of Imam Ali and Lady Fatima, the purest of souls with utmost purity, yet thousands of so-called Muslims should know your loyalty. The son entered the holy faith by the will of Allah, yet shyness stay left you in the plains of Karbala. Taught us of sacrifice and of charity, you even fed the horses of your enemies. From darkness into light, you set her free for shore. He entered heaven with your mother's handkerchief. But when you pleaded for mighty, Al-Khari was just thirsty, and hour is what they fed to your infant baby. On the lanterns of guidance for all the world to see, the ark of salvation for all humanity. Those who fought in that called up in your phone, you carried them back to lonely woman. Sakina, your daughter, from crying in your arms, to see in your head on the bed in the ocean. You're the root of the branch that maintains our being, a branch that weakened with what his eyes had seen. He endured the scene of Karbala and held his belief. Added to his own suffering, no sign of his relief. The sight of women and children tied in chains, and him saying a crying face, where are you, O Hussein? Hussein al-Gharib al-Gharib al-Hussein, Hussein al-Shaheed al-Shaheed al-Hussein, Hussein al-Gharib al-Gharib al-Hussein, Hussein al-Shaheed al-Shaheed al-Hussein. No Qasim, no Nuh, no Muhammad, no Abbas, no Akbar, no Asghar, illusion was of lost. Oh Lord, please accept this humble sacrifice. These were the words of our Imam when Asr time arrived. Oh Allah, what has he lost? He who loses you. But oh Allah, what can he do if he finds you?
القريب الحسين حسين الشهيد الشهيد الحسين حسين القريب القريب الحسين حسين الشهيد الشهيد الحسين. You're the savior of Islam, and your faith you did revive. Today we call your Mahdi, without him we are deprived. But surely he agrees with the torture of beloved, and when we remember the trials with my woman myself.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Ya Ali, Ya Hussein, Ya Ali, Ya Hussein, Ya Ali, Ya Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Habla for Muhammad in their heart. He is the city of knowledge, Ali is law and heart. Hussein and Prophet Muhammad can never be apart, because this is what Muhammad has said from the start. Hussein yo, Hussein minni wa ana min al-Hussein. Hussein, live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Life and death, they are the guidance and philosophy, the sacrifice of Hussein and the way of life of Ali. You only need to look at the final sujood of each. This is the art of life and death we should try to achieve. Hussein yo, these were the words of Ali, Muslim Rabbil Kaaba. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Hussein the one who's the meaning of courage, love and peace. He owns the earth and he owns everything within the seas. He is the path to the heavens, this is a guarantee. To love Hussein is the best way to let your soul be free. Hussein yo, we follow him cause he guides us to what we're looking for. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Growing up, we have been taught this lesson every day. Without a doubt, we have been born to serve the Ahlul Bayt. For loving them, you may face torture, agony, and pain. But every time, you should never be scared to face that hate. Hussein yo, the bravery of Ali is what you should always show. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Sacrificing his companions and his family. Hussein has showed us how to live our lives and how to be. To give whatever we have in Allah's name and we'll see. There's not a thing in this whole universe we can't achieve. Hussein yo, to live our life in the way of Allah should be our goal. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Our aim in life is to do good and to discourage wrong. This is the best way to let Karbala live on and on. And even though we know that 14 centuries have gone, The sacrifice of Hussein lives on in us and our soul. Hussein, yo, by standing for what he stood for, his answering his call. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. It's the ultimate meaning of faith and devotion. He showed us how to conduct ourselves as a creation. And then by saving humanity, He gave us salvation. This is a lesson for every ancient generation. Hussein, yo, because of him we have got harmony within our souls. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Call ourselves the lovers of these personalities. We have to follow them and should reflect on what they did. To fast and keep up with our prayers is imperative. And all the acts that go together with Azadari. Hussein, yo, without one or the other, faith cannot be whole. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Ya Ali, Ya Hussein, Ya Ali, Ya Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein. Live like Ali, die like Hussein.
जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी आले इमरान कहाँ और जिंदा कहाँ ये बहन कैद हुई तू ना आया गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी हमको पानी ना मिले तेरी खुशबू तो रहे तेरे बाजू ना कटे चाहे मशकी जाछदे ये मगर हो ना सका तेरे बाजू हैं जुदा मुझ पे है तशना लबी तू ना आया गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी धूप में तू था शजर तुझसे आबाद था घर है बरहना मेरा सर क्या नहीं तुझको खबर ए अलमदार वफा इस बहन को बाखुदा तुझसे धारस्ती परी तू ना आया गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी आ गई शाम अलम लुट गए अहले हरम रेत पर जलती हुई हो गया ठंडा अलम गुस्सा देने के लिए मुझसे मिलने के लिए आ गए बाबी तू ना आया गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना आया गाजी या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوسيم، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولاي وابن مولاي، السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء، السلام عليك يا سلطان بن حسن يا ابن موسى الرضا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، الأمان الأمان الأمان. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آله في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا وظليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك ترى وتمتعه فيها طويلا. يا مدبر العمور، يا بائس من في القبور، يا مجري البهور، يا ملين الحديد لداود، صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بنا أن تعلو في الدين والدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. سورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.